Yesterday's meeting between US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Washington drew worldwide attention. But according to NBC News, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer played an unexpected role behind the scenes, advising Zelensky on how to avoid another confrontation at the White House. Zelensky was in Washington for negotiations with Trump and Ukraine's European backers. His previous visit in February ended abruptly after a heated exchange with Trump and US Vice President J.D. Vance in the Oval Office. During that shouting match, Trump accused Zelensky of gambling with World War III, while Vance argued the Ukrainian leader had been ungrateful for American support. Determined to prevent a repeat, Starmer reportedly became a key figure among European officials who coached Zelensky on how to interact with Trump. According to NBC, the advice was simple: thank Trump for military aid and diplomatic support, keep the tone diplomatic, and avoid confrontation. The guidance even extended to wardrobe choices, with Starmer encouraging Zelensky to wear a suit jacket instead of his signature military fatigues. The Telegraph reported that UK ministers and officials have also been tutoring Zelensky on how to speak Trump, tailoring his words to flatter the former US president. And after the meeting, Starmer himself highlighted the progress in Washington, saying the talks achieved two important outcomes: moving closer to a just peace in Ukraine and strengthening European security.
So back at the British Embassy now after a long day, but a good day and a productive day, because both of the outcomes that we, the United Kingdom, most wanted, we've moved forward in a material way. And there was a real sense of unity between the European leaders that were here today and President Trump and President Zelensky. And two big outcomes: a breakthrough when it comes to security guarantees, with now the coalition of willing countries, that's the 30 or so countries that we've been coordinating for some months on security guarantees, now working with the US at pace to work up those security guarantees. These guarantees will ensure that if there is a peace, if there is a deal, then we hold to it and there isn't further conflict. So really important for Ukraine, really important for Europe, and really important for the United Kingdom as well. That's why it was an outcome we really wanted to achieve today. The second is that there will now be a bilateral meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky after a phone call by President Trump during the course of this afternoon to President Putin, followed by a trilateral meeting with President Trump as well. Now that's really important because it's a real recognition of the principle that no decisions about Ukraine can be taken without Ukraine. Ukraine must be at the table. So whether it's territorial issues, whether it's prisoners, whether it's the missing children, a really important step forward there. Now these were both the outcomes that we planned for and wanted from today. Because there was that sense of unity, we were able to make real progress.
Despite repeated clashes in the past, including Trump calling Zelensky a dictator for postponing elections under martial law, European leaders now hope Starmer's behind-the-scenes coaching will help stabilize US-Ukraine relations. With tensions high and support for Ukraine under scrutiny, this latest meeting was seen as a test of whether diplomacy and careful messaging can keep negotiations on track.